نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره نعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا ما يهدي الله فلا مضل له وما يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وأصلي وأسلم على أشرف الأنبياء سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. My humble self sitting in front of you, and by name Mallam Abdur-Razzaq, Abdul-Wahhab, Al-Ameen, Aladodo. I became the Ameer of the Harakatul Islamiyyah after the demise of the immediate past Ameer, Dr. Muhammad Ali Al-Lukadi, Rahimahullah. And I had my both Islamic and Westernized education. My primary school at Aladodo LSMB school, Ilorin. And I finished, I went to Offa Grammar School. And from there I proceeded to University of Ilorin, where I went to Kora Polytechnic after my secondary school, where I became the Ameer of the MSS 1985-86, and the Imam of the Korapoli. Then I proceeded to University of Ilorin. I joined the University of Ilorin in 1987. I became the Ameer of the University of Ilorin in 1988. Then became the Ameer of the Kwara State Area Unit in 1990. And then in 1991, I attained the Ameership of Area Unit. But I double as the Imam of the university. Since then, we have been member of the Al-Harakatul Muslim Ummah then, under the leadership of architect Sifla Alege. And later, when Dr. Muhammad Ali Lukadi became the Ameer, I was part of the leadership before his own demise, when I was chosen as the Ameer. Throughout my learning process in Islamic knowledge, I underwent various Islamic training and learning under the so many scholars traditionally. So, and alhamdulillah, up to today, we uphold the tenet of Islam as we see it clearly from the Kitabu wa Sunnah. So, wabihi wa nima. I want to give a short. I'm married with 2 wives presently, and probably 10 children. So, and that's, I've been living my life here in Ilorin. And as a member of Harakatul Islamiyyah, and as a leader under the Ilorin-based Harakatul Islamiyyah, I want to give a short history of the Jama'ah. The Jama'ah, even though there was a pocket of halqa, where people undergo Islamic enlightenment. Then, when we enter into Kwara State Polytechnic in 1984-85, and the Jama was not officially formed then. Architect Saifullah Alege, Imam Abdurrahman Ahmad, who is the National Missioner of Ansaruddin now, and Mallam Tajuddin Raji of the blessed memory, may Allah forgive him and have mercy on him, used to come down to Kwara Polytechnic to hold enlightenment program with us. From there, we participated in MSS, because as we are entering into the Kwara State Polytechnic, it fall into the time when so many MSS members were being rusticated because of the beauty contest issue, in which the MSS fought the school authority and the student union that their money should not be used to fund the student union anymore, in which singing, dancing, drinking of alcohol are promoted. So then Imam Abrahman Ahmad and others were rusticated from Kwara Polytechnic. So it was at that time that we came in. So immediately I came in, I was chosen as the Nebula Ameer. So, and we started participating in MSS program then. One of the first program we attended was very thorough and comprehensive. That was National Association Convention of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria, which was held at Ansaruddin College of Fa. In fact, it served as a booster to our Islamic understanding. That's under the leadership of Dr. Muhammad Ali Olukade. He was the Ameer of area unit then. Immediately after that program, we started participating in the Ta'alim, which these brothers have mentioned before used to organize at Institute of Technology, now Kwara Polytechnic Mini Campus. So the Ta'alim, we used to have the tafsir and the reading some archaeological book, which usually is being taken or being done by Imam Abrahman Ahmad then. We started tafsir of the Quran, which today we are now in Surah Muhammad. We started then around 85, 86. We started the tafsir of the Quran then. So it was later that these brothers now come together to call themselves the Muslim Ummah. And luckily enough, at the formation, we are part of the formation. So, so initially, it was informal group coming together, discussing about Islamic issues, Islamic enlightenment. Now, but as some of us are graduating, they believe that we should have a place where we should be able to come together to discuss Islamic issues in the town. So we still in the town. We started holding a ta'alim at Institute of Technology, Kwara Polytechnic. Later, we shifted to the first Ameer house, that is Architect Saifullah Alege in his house, at Alege Mosque. We shifted ta'alim there. Then we used to read so many, the books we used to read then, they are just self-motivating books that will return us back to the hereafter. Something like Spectacle of Death, then Riyadh al-Salihin, and so on. Then we used to hold ideological session using milestone Mallam fi Tariq as a comprehensive for ideological discussion. So we started on that, and that's how the Jama is trying to take a shape. Anybody I know has serious mind for Islam, and as a student, if you come to the campus, of course, you will find us as the only viable people who can be followed to acquire both Islamic knowledge and spirit. So the MSS became the recruiting center and training for us. So, but at the German level, we started holding Ichima. But our Ichima, as students, then we even speak in the English language. We don't, in Ilorin here, the major language is Yoruba, and we take care of Ilorin, Ibadan, Lagos, and so on like that, and so forth. So, but imagine, we still speak English language, because the Ichima we hold then is only for the students. And the ideology, understanding of the books we are reading from Abu Ala Maududi, from Iwan Muslimin, that's the book of Sayyid Qutb, the book of Abu Qadir Hawda, Shahid Asal Banna, and so on and so forth. We used to read their book, and as students in the Western education, we speak, most of those books then were in English. Yeah, the one that were brought to us here. So we started reading it. So the discussing those books means that we have to be reading it directly from English language that was written. So we speak English in our Ishima program, which we used to hold on the campus. We use Kwara Polytechnic for Kwara State Air. Then we use, we have been to University of Ibadan. We use University of Lagos. So, and that's the level with which we used to hold Ta'alim. Even as students, we join those who are already workers, or those, even though not workers, but they are not on campus. They are finished. So, and that's how we formed the Ta'alim started. Not until around 89, when officially, Aktesefullah Ahmad Alige was declared as the Ameer of the Muslim Ummah. The name that we started with is Muslim Ummah. Though we used to hold the Ta'alim we used to hold at the campus, we used to call it ISGON, ISG, Islamic Study Group. The Ta'alim, that's the Ta'alim group. Before we now decide to take shape, call ourselves the Muslim Ummah, and then started the Ichima, and then started Ta'alim at the weekly, at the mosque of Alige, and that's how the activities kick-started. We were on that, and all other programs coming, like the family program, the Ta'alim, mosque to mosque Ta'alim, all were there. But alhamdulillah, we had serious problem, especially from those from the campus, because the emergence of Dr. Muhammad Ali Lukade, he was chosen by the brothers who formed the Ummah. People like Dr. Muhammad Ahmad Alige, Mallam Musayaro Dankuji, who is now in Abuja, Mallam Zakaria, from Kogi, also of the blessed memory. They were the one who, most of them finished from ABU, BUK, Car Polytechnic, and so on and so forth. So the ideas is coming from that place. And we have heard about the revolution of Sheikh Usman Bufudi. So, and we are hearing about Hassan al-Banna, Maududi, and so on and so forth. This serves as impetus for us. Then the emergence of the Islamic Revolution of Iran concretize our dream. So we now believe, okay, if we are reading about Sheikh Usman Bufudi, we can say it's of past. Hassan al-Banna, we know it was martyred. Said Qutb, we know the modern system, it was martyred. But when the Iranian Revolution came on board, we believe that, okay, it means what Sheikh Mahfoud did can be repeated. Except that we need to have a modern touch to it. Because then there was no colonization, imperialism, and so on and so forth. They are contesting with the traditional Kufru settings. But it is an organized Kufru hegemony with all the modern jargons to military support, political rally, and everything to support it. So the revolution of Iran served as come to concretize our feelings, our dream. So that's how Jamaah has been moving, and up till the present time, the activities continue, even though there is change of baton from one leadership of the Ameer to another leaders. But today, Jamaah has gone so far, especially in trying to make Islamic enlightenment on a official platform. Ta'lim is being heard. We are changing from the traditional way of delivering our message to the modern way, and that is the extent we have gone now. We have gone to the extent of institutionalizing of our ideas through having schools, Islamic colleges, and primary school, and so on and so forth, and madrasa for ta'lim, for Hifz al-Quran, for the Rasatul Islamiyyah. So, and then we have gone into trying to translate our ideas by establishing Islamic medical centers or hospitals, and so on and so forth. The ideas we are having is that we should create alternative to the Kufru system. The Kufru system of doing things, we have been talking, and our talk is very theoretical. The reality of it is that we have a micro-Islamic, micro-Islamic system within us. So the Jamaah has extended throughout the southwest and some part of the north, but we have our way of doing things, and our way of doing things is determined by what the Quran and the Sunnah says. What the Quran and the Sunnah says. And up till now, this is what we are known for. No matter any you hear of the Harakatul, Muslim Ummah, you say, we know them for this, for that. Then it has also gone through a lot of trouble. There was a time it was issue of Shia. We are fighting on the issue of Shia, as we are by our location, by our training, by our understanding. Our Aqidah is Sunni. That is by Aqidah. So, but because what we are, our method of we are calling for Islamic change, people believe that yes, we have seen the example from Iran, and therefore we must be labeled as Shia. We continue to say that the use of Shia is a political slogan. Our Aqidah remains as we are. We are only talking for renewing the faith as it ought to be, in line with the tradition. And that's why we employ the slogan of journey back to Medina. That is, returning Islam to the pristine source. That is when the first Dawlat Islamiyyah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Jama undergo that crisis. Then later we overcome it. Even those up till now, some people in the society still refer as Shia, but we know where we are not. We are not. Those who declare for Shia in the 1st of Ramadan, the Kufru year of in 1996, they were excused out from the Jama. Because we believe the journey we have to go here is not a matter of trying to employ the political slogan of Shiism to create confusion and set us back. So we have to excuse those of them who are Shia in our midst. So people like Abdullah Mustafa Brady were excused us, and there are some other people who are with him. So, but some people still decided maliciously to employ that name and call us Shia as a label. But we knew we are not. But we used to tell people that neither Shia or Sunni is so important to us. Islam is what is most important. But we always caution the Shia that you are exporting a foreign Akida into a traditionally grown up Sunni environment to cause frikor and fitina among the Muslims. So this has always been our stand. So as for the Jama remain focused on its Akida, and it read traditional books of the Sunni. It reads books of Shia in order to be able to explain to people the limitations, the confusion, and so that as our people go out, they come with any other ideas, we will be there to explain the issue to them. But alhamdulillah, following that, some other crisis coming. That is from the onset. This Jama is known to employing the Sunnah. So we are the first protagonists of Sunnah in this environment. Even in fact, it was later people from Saudi Arabia came and said they want to, if we are talking of Sunnah, they will tell us the Sunnah was kick-started from the Muslim Ummah. We are known for outward dressing of Islam. We are known for sitting in a way when you are eating, when you want to sleep, the Sunnah of everything, we are known for that. In fact, in this environment, even though Ilorin environment, which is the center of the Harakatul Islamiyyah, which is the name which the Muslim woman now used, is known for use of hijab. But the kind of hijab they used was different. Then having young ones, because those who use hijab then are just the old woman. They use hijab, they use, after wearing their clothes, they use ibori. You call it ibori. It's transparent, but they cover themselves, then use ipele. But the slogan of hijab was from us. And in fact, we had serious issue even with people from other departments, especially the Islamic department, who are more into the, what can I call it? This, their knowledge has been westernized. So they believe in the Mustagribin, the Orientalist. So we had serious clash about the hijab on the campus. In fact, on the campus, we started using of hijab for the younger ones on the campus, to the extent that anytime people see any young lady wearing hijab, not even full hijab then, they said, okay, these are the Ummah. It has become our symbol and our emblem. So all those things were known. They were the one that started it in this environment, and then thereafter it extended to the use of even itikaf. Traditionally, our father used to they used to do itikaf at the Central Mosque Ilorin, but later, by the time we read a lot of things about itikaf, we started itikaf. We started itikaf, it has now become so popular for people. The use of tahajjud is true. When we go for our Ichma, we used to have tahajjud in congregation. Even the MSS, which used to be singing and dancing before, we revolutionize it, turn everything to sunnah. Whatever you can see in the sunnah is what we want to practice. The wearing of, the keeping of beards and the wearing of turban for young ones as sunnah. These are common things to us. So we know our brothers from Tabligh, they go on preaching from house to house, but we stay in the society to enlighten the people and uphold the sunnah. So the Jama'ah is known for upholding the sunnah for that. So the crisis we are having with the people is a matter of, because of the time. Today, the sunnah has become an household practice for so many people. Even those who don't even believe, who don't have serious Islamic training, wear hijab. So it has become, so many things have changed anyway. So up to the present time, any time there is any crisis, the Jama'ah try to approach it from the knowledge perspective and see it from the realities and how to tackle or how to surmount the challenges. The use of Salafiyah came on board. It became a very complicated issue, especially those of us who knows the problem witnessed in Ilorin here, where people decide to even not do salama or return salama from the Muslims. So all these new ideas that are crawling into the society, the Jama'ah ever remain firm and focused on the thought of re-establishing Islamic environment, Islamic community, Islamic society, to uphold Islamic consciousness, so that we will continue to tread that part of the struggle and create a micro-Islamic society wherein we can uphold our faith, even though if we are unable to establish an Islamic government, and we are called to Allah, we regard that as success for us, that we die as Muslims. We don't want a case where we will have to leave Islam and then we die. No, alhamdulillah. We remain on that till today. Alhamdulillah for that. Now, some other areas which I will to address that people used to ask, who are we? And what do we stand for? You can infer that from what I've said so far. So, we and Al-Sunnah wa Jama'ah, people say, are we Al-Sunnah? Why is our Akidah look like Iwani? As far as we're concerned, whatever appellation people bear, whether you call yourself Jama'atul Islami, Jama'atul Nasr Islami, Jama'atul Islamiyyah, or you call yourself Jama'atul Islamiyyah, or you call yourself Iwan Muslimin, whoever is a Muslim, and we can see that fundamentally the Shahada is with him, we recognize such person as Muslims. We knew that people of Qadianism, Ahmadiyya, are expelled from Islam because they have already contradicted the fundamentals. That is Muhammad Rasulullah, by believing that Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not the seal of the Prophet. So, with any other Muslims, we only identify their level of aberration or deviation from the pristine Islam, and we know that that is the disease we have to cure from those Muslims. So we uphold the fact that the Prophet ﷺ said, "Inna Allah yarda lakum thalatha." Allah Ta'ala is pleased with three things: that an tahabudullah wa la tushriku bihi shay'a. We uphold it. We should worship Allah. We should not associate anything with Him. Wa an tahtasimu bi abilillahi jami'a wa la tafarraqu. That we should hold to the rope of Allah and we should not be disunited. We understand that and we keep to that. And we knew that those who are in authority among us, we should continue to be part, who uphold as a community of the Muslims, who are due to authority to us, we should continue to be with them, advise them on the way forward about Islam. So the current issue of which come as Al-Sunnah, any Muslims who uphold and who follow the path of Allah and His Rasul is Al-Sunnah to us, not the political Al-Sunnah. The political Al-Sunnah, where some people are what do you call it? You eliminate some people based on criteria of your own, not read from the book. You are the one that say if you see a person whose trousers is going beyond the ankle, say no, it's a kafir. No, we don't do that. We knew that every Muslims have their limitations. That is, maybe they have not practiced Islam totally. They have their area of deficiency. We also have our area of deficiency. But we uphold that any area of deficiency we see from any Muslims does not make us to give them a name. So Al-Sunnah wa Jama'ah, that's why we are concerned, we are Muslims. And that's most important to us. And we practice the Sunnah. Our aims, there is need for you to know our aims and objectives. Our aim is simply to practice Islam in totality. Then translate the Islamic Aqidah into our day-to-day activities in the society, such that what we do in the mosque, obedience to Allah, when we go for our job, either as carpenter or as bricklayer or in the offices, we remain with the idea of Islam and we practice the Sunnah there. Anywhere we find ourselves, in all strata of life, we want to remain Muslim in all our dealings. And that's our aims. And through that, we believe that within ourselves, we that intend to change the society, we knew that society has a common thing. But we as movement believe that we have a focus. We see ourselves the way the Sahaba see themselves, that they say this is a clear message of Islam and their intention is to change the world. Our own intention is to change the society. And for us to change the society, we ourselves know that we must call people to the way of Allah, forbid them what Allah has forbidden. But we must uphold the religion ourselves. So, people used to mistaken us. At times they will say, you are calling yourself Al-Harakatul Islamiyyah. The people in the north, as a key group, also calls themselves Islamic movement. Islamic movement of Nigeria. We used to make it clear that Islamic movement of Nigeria, IMN, when they want to use their akka, they say Shia. But we use TEAM, the Islamic movement, and we have our akka as Muslim Ummah. Muslim Ummah. We were together. We and as a key group, we have a working relationship before. We used to be one. That was early 80s. Before they deviated. They were the one who deviated. Perhaps because of the sponsorship they received from Iran, which our own leaders here turned down. We refused to collect any sponsorship. We will, up till now, whether Iran, Saudi, we never receive any sponsorship from anybody. We believe that our own contribution to Islam should be done with our sweat. And so that nobody, there's a common adage that whoever paid the piper dictate the tune. Whoever receives sponsorship from anywhere, whether Shia or Sunni environment, you will do the bidding of the people who sponsor you. So this Jama'ah has remained independent. It practices its faith directly from the Quran and the Sunnah. But the Azazaki group, after so many times, we have inquired, queried them. They denied that they were not Shia, but eventually we came around 1994 or 5. We officially recognized that they were only cajoling us. So since then, we know they are Muslim brothers. They are our Muslim brothers. So because we have a shared values, but as per Akida, we have decided to dissociate ourselves from the Akida, and we remain on the path we all jointly started from and up to today, and that has been our own way. Our headquarters is in Ilorin here, and it's cover all other parts of in Ilorin, and so part of them. We have branches all over part of the north. Our program will remain. We used to do normally the Ishtima, which takes about 3 times in all our centers. We have the post-Juma talk, which is to hold at the Central Masjid in Ilorin. We also have so many programs. The normal Ta'lim, every daira has its own Ta'lim. We have bodies, we have organizational structure, which we to coordinate dawah. We have the one that take care of the formal settings like the institution, either education, medicine, or the non-formal institution, and takes care of the Lajnatul Ilal, take care of sighting of the moon, those who take care of the prison visitation, and so on and so forth. We have those that take care of the ta'alim generally and the coordination of the da'irah. So these are the organizational structure with which we continue to spread our da'wah up to date. So, and we remain on that path. We seek Allah's assistance on the struggle. We believe that the Islam brought by the Prophet did not change. It's ever remain and forever it will remain. But however, the instrument of its propagation can change with time, and that's why we have employed so many methods. As time changes, we start changing the original ideas which we uphold, and that is following the path of the prophets, the Sunnah, through the Sirah, and then upholding the Quran. I want to make this final note. Some people used to have a misconception because they believe anybody who doesn't criticize Iran is a Shia. I'm still upholding that this Jama'ah is Islamic movement. It tolerates all sets of Muslims, but it is Sunni by practice, by Aqidah and practice. However, our understanding is that there are some things we can learn from Kafir and even from some Muslims who err. The Prophet ﷺ has told us that we should look that we seek knowledge even if it is from China. Then more than 1,000 or nearly 1,500 years ago, the Prophet mentioned this. China was not in the realm of event, but today we can see that China is coming on board, and who has told us we can take our mundane knowledge from China. We also learn, which is of course explained in the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, Qurtubi, the last ayah of Surah Muhammad, where the Prophet ﷺ said that the ayah said, if you do not uphold the way the Islam very well, we will exchange with some people. They will not be like you. From the tafsir of Ibn Kathir, we learned that the Prophet asked Salman al-Faris, seated in his front with some other people, and he now talked to the Arab that if you refuse to uphold this Islam, the people of the tribes of this Salman, he parted Salman at the back. The tribe of this man or the race of this man will uphold it. And even if Islam were to disappear to a far planet, his people, Salman from Faris, from Iran, a Persian, his people would bring it to the heart. The Tafsir of Ibn Kathir carry it. So from that we knew that there are some things Allah is going to use the Iranians as instruments for. And up till now, we know that we can learn some political gimmicks of, especially in dealing with the Western world. We can see some things we can learn from them, not necessarily Akida. Much as we can learn from Kafir, and we don't have the audacity to call them Kafir anyway, but we can learn from them what the part that is necessary will be of assistance for us in our religion, not in our Akida. Not in our Akida, in some day political side of the religion. So this, I make bold to declare that we learn everything, we can learn from anything, anybody, but we learn and sieve and decide whatever is in line with the Quran and the Sunnah. So we don't throw the baby and the water we used to bath the baby away. We throw the water away and take the baby. And that's the problem so many Islamic organizations have, either being sponsored from so-called Sunni environment or so-called Shia environment. We employ people that they should seek correct Islamic knowledge and remain balanced, to remain ummatan wasatan, a ummah, a community that is moderate, a justly balanced community who takes to the reality of dawah and does not take to sponsorship of people who will decide to dictate, to alter their akida or their practice in any way. May Allah be with all of us, give us correct knowledge, guide us to the path of the truth. Finally, I am inviting us to our program, Islamic Movement program here, which will ever remain relevant to the society. The Prophet ﷺ told us the interpretation of the dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim, where he said, Rabbi Abul Ukima wal Ikini Bisalahin. The Prophet said the meaning of that surah, of that ayah, is that Allahumma the meaning is Allahumma arina kulla shay'in kama hiya. For us to have the correct judgment of all matters is for us to see things the way Allah wants us to see it. So we see Islam the way it is, not introducing any of our whims and caprices to it. Even whatever we see as being bitter, we know it's due to our own deficiency. So we must learn to live off it and keep to the Islamic way of life. So with this, I think this short introduction will be of assistance for those who don't know us, or those who have misconception about us, or those who maliciously decide to label us. Only Allah knows us. Wala tuzaku anfusakum wa a'lamu biman ittaqa. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.